The silence that heals the soul. The wound is where the light enters you. These words, whispered across centuries, touch something ancient within us, don't they? A recognition of a truth we might have felt but never fully articulated. We carry our wounds, often in silence, sometimes with a quiet shame, believing them to be our weaknesses, our broken places. We spend so much of our lives trying to patch them, to hide them, to pretend they are not there, or to drown their persistent ache in a sea of distractions. We fill our days with sound, with tasks, with endless seeking, hoping to outrun the phantom limb of a past hurt or the gnawing void of an unfulfilled longing. But what if the very thing we try to escape is in fact an invitation? What if the vulnerability we guard so fiercely holds the key to a profound opening? Imagine, for a moment, that the cracks in your being are not flaws to be mended, but pathways. Not places where you are diminished, but precisely where something essential, something luminous, can find its way in. This isn't a call to celebrate suffering, but to understand its deeper language, its unexpected grace. It's an invitation to pause, to breathe, and to consider the radical possibility that our deepest hurts might be portals, not prisons. We live in a world that often teaches us to fear stillness, to equate silence with emptiness, or worse, with an absence of purpose. Yet every great transformation begins in a quiet turning inward. Before the seed bursts into life, it rests in the dark earth. Before the butterfly emerges, it dissolves in the chrysalis. And before true healing can begin, there is often a profound descent into a kind of sacred quiet, where the usual noise of the world and even the noise of our own minds begins to fade. This journey is not about finding quick answers or immediate cures. It is about a different kind of discovery, one that unfolds in the space between breaths, in the soft echo of a memory, in the unexpected clarity that emerges when we finally stop running. It is about learning to listen to the whispers of the soul, a language often obscured by the clamor of our daily lives, by the insistent demands of the ego, by the endless loop of desires that promise fulfillment but rarely deliver lasting peace. Perhaps you know this feeling, the quiet desperation that sometimes settles in after a long day, when the distractions fall away and you are left with only yourself. The yearning for something more, something deeper than the fleeting pleasures or achievements the world offers. The persistent sense of being adrift, even amidst connection, or a profound loneliness that no amount of company seems to assuage. This is not a weakness, it is a signal, a call from the deepest part of your being, urging you to turn inward, to explore the terrain of your own heart. We are not merely bodies moving through space, or minds processing information. We are beings capable of immense feeling, profound connection, and an innate wisdom that often lies dormant, waiting to be rediscovered. And it is often in the crucible of our pain, in the quiet aftermath of a wound, that this wisdom begins to stir. This is where we begin our path together, not with solutions, but with an invitation to simply be with the question, to let the silence around and within you begin its subtle work. To trust that within the very fabric of your being, there resides a capacity for a healing that transcends mere mending, a light that enters precisely through the places where you once felt broken. We begin here, in the raw landscape of human longing. Before any talk of light or healing, there is simply the ache, the deep, often unnamed desire that propels us forward, sometimes wildly, sometimes with a quiet desperation. It is the story of every seeker, every heart that has ever felt incomplete. He wanted love, but what he often found was only longing. She searched for God, but met her own reflection, shimmering with unfulfilled desire. This is the human condition, stripped bare. A profound sense of something missing, a separation from a wholeness we dimly remember, or perhaps only imagine. This longing is not a flaw. It is the very engine of our spiritual journey. It manifests in countless forms. The yearning for a perfect partner, a fulfilling career, an unshakable sense of peace, a deeper connection to something beyond ourselves. We chase these external images, believing that their attainment will finally quiet the inner turmoil, fill the void. We build lives around these pursuits, sometimes achieving them, only to find the ache still present, perhaps even more pronounced in the quiet afterglow of a perceived victory. The weight of this search can be immense, a heavy cloak we wear, even as we smile and navigate the world. Think of the countless nights spent restless, the moments of sudden melancholy that descend without warning, the feeling of being an outsider looking in, even when surrounded by loved ones. This is the echo of separation, a fundamental aspect of being human. We are born into a world of duality, of self and other, of light and shadow, of presence and absence. And this initial separation ignites within us a primordial quest for reunion, for a return to a state of undivided being. This quest often begins in confusion, in a sense of being lost, of wandering without a clear map or destination. We are taught to fix what is broken, to solve problems, to overcome obstacles. But this longing, this fundamental ache, often feels like something that cannot be fixed or solved in the conventional sense. It is not a puzzle to be assembled, but a presence to be acknowledged. It is the wound itself, constantly reminding us of a deeper truth, a deeper potential. It is the thirst that drives us to the well, even if we do not yet know the well exists, or that its waters are within us. This is the starting point, the raw, unadorned experience of being human, before the veils begin to lift, before the whispers of another way begin to penetrate the noise. This initial phase is crucial. It is the crucible where transformation begins. Without the discomfort of the ache, without the persistent tug of longing, we might never embark on the journey inward. We might remain content with the superficial, the fleeting, the easily attainable. But the soul, in its profound wisdom, refuses to be satisfied with anything less than its own truth. It will send us signals, sometimes gentle, sometimes jarring, to remind us of its deeper hunger. And in these moments of profound human yearning, the ground is prepared for something new to emerge, something that begins to speak from a place beyond our conscious understanding. This profound peace is not a destination to be reached and then held onto rigidly. It is a continuous, dynamic engagement with life in its entirety. It is a practice of returning again and again to the quiet center, especially when the outer world feels chaotic or the inner landscape becomes turbulent. The insight gleaned from this journey beckons us to live with a fluidity that mirrors the natural world, bending with the winds of change rather than breaking against them. It is an invitation to trust the unfolding, to release the need for constant control, and to embrace the inherent impermanence of all things as a source of liberation, not fear. For in letting go, we discover a deeper, more resilient strength, one that is rooted not in what we possess or achieve, but in the unwavering essence of who we are. The true practice begins now, not in further seeking, but in the quiet commitment to embody these truths in the living of your days. Let the wound remain a window, not as a reminder of what was broken, but as a perpetual opening for light, for love, for wisdom to continuously enter and flow through you. Carry this understanding into your interactions, your moments of solitude, your challenges and your joys. Allow the silence to be your sanctuary and your guide, reminding you that within every experience, no matter how difficult, lies the seed of growth, the potential for profound transformation. For in the very act of walking this path with an open heart, you are not merely seeking healing. You are becoming the healing itself, a radiant presence in a world yearning for its own